Yeah. Early day MMA. Yes. It is Saturday, early afternoon on the East Coast, still morning time on the West Coast. And we are less than 30 minutes away from a UFC event going down. Just the best thing you could possibly say on a Saturday. Thank you for joining us. It's the People's Pre-Fight Show. I am Mike Heck, being joined by the baddest stash at MMA Media. I'm curious how many chair swings we'll get for UFC Vegas 82 from Casey Leydon. Where are we at? Let's see. Quarter of a chair swing. Okay, at least it's something.
Wait. Daytime.
Yeah, dude, that's a full. It's a full.
You get 3/4. You get 3/4.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. So look, we're not gonna mince words here. We're gonna get right into this. Get your questions right in there. We can talk about this card. I assume that there are gonna be very few questions about this card. I assume we're gonna get a lot of talk about Bellator 301 and just the fallout of that. Patchy Mix's big win. We have
what a fun main card. What a fun main card. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I was kind of having a blast watching the fights last night. I was like little kind of sad that this is it for Bellator.
At least
this iteration, the Showtime iteration or whatever Bellator is. Without a doubt, this is done. It's Bellator and Showtime is done. So
100%.
If we see Bellator again, it will look very different, presentation and everything. But that's
all right. I'm sure we're gonna talk about this. Let me ask you this: if let's just say you're not the money, but you're like the decision maker here for the PFL. And by the way, this is not done yet. I know there are reports out there that they're gonna announce it this weekend. It could happen. Who the hell knows at this point? If you are the guy, if you're the PFL guy right now, and you're like, hey, I'm the director of talent relations here. Are you keeping Bellator alive with this deal, or are you just taking the fighters and putting them in the PFL? Because I think it's kind of wasteful, really, to like keep Bellator going for like 3 or 4 more events and then just killing it off then. Because when the whole purpose of this sale is just to get their fighters on your roster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, if I don't know, I'm not sure how the contracts work, but I'm just assuming if you buy Bellator, you own all the contracts. I'm just going to assume that. It's just for the sake of this. I shutter Bellator. Yeah, Bellator, and then PFL's roster all of a sudden got 10 times better, and I don't understand why you have this kind of lame duck promotion. Maybe contractually you might have to do it to finish. Oh, just finish out the lightweight Grand Prix. Just finish in Bellator. I mean, finish it in PFL. I don't know. I know there might be some issues of that, but outside of that, yeah, there's no reason to run Bellator anymore because we know it's dead. It just brings up bad memories of the whole Strikeforce thing in the UFC when Dana was all like business as usual, but from the very hour one, it was very clear they were stripping it to parts, and I don't understand why even Strikeforce was around 5 or 6 shows after the UFC bought it.
I mean, there's literally nothing planned right now. There's like nothing planned. There's no events planned. There's no nothing.
And this sucks for the fighters. Sucks.
I agree.
For the fighters sucks so much. So, and that's why I just say, please just kill Bellator. I don't want Bellator to die, but this is the reality we're in. Now it's less competition, less options for fighters, less options for fans. This sucks, but here we are, and just kill Bellator and put everyone in PFL and give those fighters now a reason to train and kind of have some kind of goal.
Yeah. You know? The only way to fix Bellator at this point is you have to tear all the screws out. Like you have to rip it down, all the screws and everything, and you have to rebuild it from scratch. Like everything, new name, new format, like new look, new broadcasters, new everything. Like you have to give it an entire facelift, and you just don't have the time to do that. The value of Bellator is the fighters. It's the roster. It's nothing else. It's nothing else. So it's going to be real interesting. It would be such a classic PFL move when they're like, hey, we're going to run them as 2 promotions. And then it's just going to be the most PFL thing.
Dude, they have a hard enough time running one promotion. How the hell are they going to
run 2? It's crazy. It's nuts. But it
and
was a
like,
good event, man. I
oh yeah, yeah.
enjoyed it. I could have done without the City Outlaw AJ McKee fight, but it was kind of funny
You
watching
know,
AJ
I thought
McKee
that fight was,
win
I
the
thought that
whole
fight was,
fight
yeah.
off
I
of
thought
his
that fight
back.
was. Did you watch his post fight interview? I felt bad for AJ, but like I got it, and I thought the ref kind of effed up that fight more than anything.
For not standing him up.
Not standing him up for it because
Oh,
Outlaw was.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
Completely agree.
and AJ said this, like, if you're a good wrestler and you have no intention of doing any sort of significant damage or throwing any submissions, it's not that difficult to hold a fighter down for 15 minutes if you're doing nothing as far as damage. And the ref allowed this, and it just screwed the fight up. But I'm very happy that the judges got it right and did score at 30-27 because it was a 30-27.
For sure.
And yeah.
So that was good. That was the good thing that came out of this.
Real quick, when was the last time you remember that happening? Someone scoring at 30-27, all 3 rounds, basically winning from the bottom.
I can't remember that. I remember
neither.
Benson Henderson. Who the hell did Benson Henderson beat?
I've seen rounds 1 from the bottom, but not
not
like that.
3 rounds. Not like that. Where it's just like, hey, you probably lost the first 2 rounds, but then your corner's telling you, like, yeah, keep doing that, and then just do it again. And then McKee got the takedown in the 3rd round, and I was just like, wow, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But
and then he was so covered, but all that blood was just. And then it was then it just not ruined, but like the mat was just covered in these giant like mass murders all over for the rest of the night, which I always love.
Yeah, and it was all Sydney Outlaw and Tricky Pitbull's blood all over the mat.
Oh, all right, Shabley.
Sorry. Yeah, Shabley's really, really good.
Let's talk about what we.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're gonna get more questions about this, so we'll go. I'm sure you and I are probably going to get into some sort of debate about one of the topics.
All right. We'll go to the questions. All right. Oops, sorry. That was last week. All right. Sorry. I was so caught up in the moment. I forgot to look at the fan Q&A. I forgot we had questions.
Yeah. Right. Shout out to Jason Jackson. What a freaking performance last night,
dude. He earned it, man. I was picking Amosov, but I knew Jason Jackson was freaking tough. He just had to he just needed an opportunity to prove it, and woo, KO by sprawl.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't that way, but like, oh man, yeah.
I mean, Jason Jackson winning was not the biggest shocker of all, but the way he did it was pretty shocking. I was like, damn. He beat the brakes off of Amosov. I was like, wow, didn't see that coming.
Dude, I think Jason Jackson is I don't know, I'm gonna use this term star loosely, but like I think he has it. He has the look, he has the story. I don't know if you saw the post presser. He speaks well. He told his story. I feel for the first time, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Bellator kind of told me Jason Jackson's story. I didn't really know very much about it other than he's this tough looking dude with dreads and he has an awesome nickname. That's really all I knew. I didn't really know about his background, which was pretty incredible, honestly. So good luck to him. Whatever happens to him, I hope we hear his name a lot. And All right, sorry.
Yeah, him being in the welterweight $1 million season for PFL would actually be really, really interesting.
All right, here we go.
Do you see Patchy Mix signing with the UFC with Bellator's future unknown? All right. I assume we're just going to get into all of this right now.
Yes, do it.
Boy, has there been quite a bunch of conversation about what this victory meant for Patchy Mix. Now, here's what I'll say about all of this. And honestly, I have no insight because this is just the biggest mystery in the world. Like, is PFL going to absorb them? If they do, what the hell happens? Are the champions or anybody allowed to test free agency? Does it automatically mean they're PFL fighters? Like, I honestly don't know. But for me, Casey, because the biggest thing that has come out of this is Patchy Mix the best bantamweight in the world? And I'm here to say that if you want to take that stance after this performance against Sergio Pettis, who is incredibly underrated and undervalued in a lot of respects, but probably ranked in our rankings exactly where he needed to be, I think. Probably like top 6, which is a damn good place to be in a division like this. if you want to rank Patchy Mix number 1, I'm not going to fight you on it. I'm not going to fight you on it. The way we had it in our Slack channel is that there wasn't even a discussion to be had. There were no thoughts to be had. It was just automatic. This man is the best bantamweight in the world. And if that's how you feel, great. I, for one, am not ready to make that statement yet until the second part of this question happens. He goes to the UFC, gets a couple of wins. I honestly think this is the only way that we will know for sure if he's the best bantamweight in the world. While I'm impressed with the wins over, finishing Magomedov is impressive. Magomedov right now, if he entered the UFC, is probably not even a top 15 guy. No disrespect to him. It's probably where he's at. Kyoji Horiguchi, very good fighter, not a bantamweight, but he did what he was supposed to do. And the Stotts knockout was incredibly impressive. And what he did to Sergio Pettis was very impressive too. To me, I just can't rank him above Sean O'Malley knocking out Aljamain Sterling, which is probably the best win of any of these guys right now. Aljo's run, winning all those fights in a row, beating Petr Yan twice, even 10-8ing him. I don't care about the DQ. None of that matters to me. None of it. What he did to Corey Sandhagen, nobody else has done. What Aljo has done, I think that resume merits a number 2 spot. And Merab Dvalishvili is a freak. Merab might actually be the number 1 bantamweight in the world. It's just unfortunate that we may not see him get the big opportunities because he's probably going to fight Henry Cejudo next. And if he fights Henry Cejudo and just runs him, it's not going to, unfortunately, to me, it doesn't improve his ranking. Yeah, it's right. And it still, it doesn't improve his ranking because of where we have Cejudo ranked. So, all things considered, I respect your take and others that Patchy is the best bantamweight in the world. I respect the hell out of it. And I'm not here to argue that. I am a little stunned that, and it's not just you, it's others as well that are just yeah, there's no debate here. He's the best bantamweight in the world. And I'm like, okay. I mean, you could feel that way. I can't do it. And I thought about it. I'm like, what am I missing here that you guys are all seeing? And I get it, but I can't pull the trigger just yet until he faces some of the same competition as the top 3 guys above him that I have ranked. And that is O'Malley, Sterling, and Merab.
So essentially, it is impossible for Mix to be number 1 in your ranking without facing those gentlemen in the UFC. No matter what he did outside of the UFC, if he would have just looked at Sergio Pettis and Sergio Pettis just exploded, boom, he wins the fight. That's how dangerous Mix is.
No,
he's still.
No, I don't think so. No, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Cheeto Vera beats Sean O'Malley. If Cheeto beats Sean O'Malley.
No. That's if O'Malley loses. So things have to happen in the UFC.
Yes.
They can't be. Okay. I see what you're trying to say.
But look, top 4 in bantamweight, considering what the UFC's bantamweight division looks like right now, being in that top 5 is you're a fucking great fighter. You are an excellent, near perfect fighter for a 135-pounder. If you are in the top 5 in my bantamweight rankings, you are the best of the best.
That's why
you're the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
yeah, you're there. His resume, as good as it is, I just can't. I just think O'Malley beating Sterling and Yan. And look, you may not have scored it for O'Malley, but he showed up, gave Yan a hell of a fight. Yan has not been the same since. And then Sterling's run at bantamweight was incredible, and Sean O'Malley just iced him in the second round. That fight was he just goes out and knocks out the best bantamweight in the world. To me, you got to celebrate that. And then Merab is just a freak of nature. And could Mix fight O'Malley tomorrow and beat him? Sure. I would probably favor him to do so. Could he go in there and beat Aljamain Sterling? Sure. Could Aljo beat Patchy Mix? Sure. Could Merab beat Patchy Mix? Yeah. Could Mix beat Merab? Sure. But to me, I can't get there until this world that Joseph is talking about actually happens, where he goes to the UFC and gets to find out, we get to truly find out if he is the best bantamweight in the world by fighting the absolute best bantamweights in the world. And I just don't know if we're going to get it. And it hurts my feelings, Casey. It really does. Because there's nothing more I want to see heading into 2024 than Patchy Mix signing with the UFC and just getting inserted right into this division.
Yeah. I mean, 35 is so freaking good. I have Mix. To me, I have no doubt he's number 1. But I also say that on the right night, Aljamain can beat Mix. Sterling, Malik can beat Mix. uh, Marab could beat Mix. That's how good. I mean, I almost go away. It's almost 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. That's how good 35 is right now. So,
Yeah.
but if I have to choose one, I do choose Mix, and I choose it because of his dominance. And I'm a little higher on Magomedov. I'm higher in stats, I think, than you are. But regardless, it's that dominance. And ever since the incredibly fun Archuleta fight, which he was winning, and he gassed out and everything. He lost it, but his last 3 fights, just unbelievable dominance, and just in doing it different ways. It's just, and he's a dangerous striker. He's a dangerous grappler. He seems to have gotten his cardio issues as far as the later rounds and the control. Yeah, and I'm not gonna this isn't a hill I want to die on, but I am very high on Patchy Mix, and I hate saying I want to see him in the UFC, but I do want to see him in the UFC just because I want to see those matchups selfishly. But
there's nothing left for him outside of the UFC. There just isn't. That's like entertaining at all.
Yeah.
Now, if he goes to if they do like a PFL Ryzen event and we get a rematch with Mix and Archuleta, like I'll watch the hell out of that.
Yeah,
that'd be a really interesting fight, and I would probably pick Mix to win. But at this point, like at 135 in Bellator or PFL, I just there's just nothing for him. There's nothing that interests me at all for him. But go to the UFC and dude, if you can get, golly, man, if he signs with the UFC tomorrow and they book him with Corey Sandhagen, that's it.
I love Corey.
Dude, that's the fight. That's the intro fight.
I just said 1A, 1B, 1C. I completely forgot there was 1E with Corey Sandhagen because, but this is why I love bantamweights so much, because I don't ever think there's gonna be a true GOAT at bantamweight, because they're all gonna be just so dangerous and just so incredibly good. I think it's just I train with some high level bantamweights and they just F me up so much, and I'm probably a 55er, and the skill set that these bantamweights have are just incredible, and I just love that division so much. And yeah, I think it's all good. It's all good. The bantamweight division has never been better. And hey, congrats, Patchy, man. You're making a good money right now. I hope you get I hope you get a great contract with the UFC. If you don't go to the UFC, I hope PFL or Ryzen or whatever gives you that bag, man, because yeah, you've earned it. You're one of the best in the world, and yeah, I hope we get the big fights, but also I'm actually more concerned. I hope these guys are making the bag and getting paid properly.
It's so good to see him reach the potential everybody always saw in him, because there was a stretch there where we're I don't know, losing to Archuleta, tough fight, dude. Archuleta's fucking Archuleta. In 2020, dude. Fights Albert Morales, struggled a bit in that fight against Albert Morales. Was a former UFC fighter, but came out of that and struggled a little bit. Then he gets the fight with James Gallagher, misses weight, struggles a little bit in that fight, does turn it around and gets a stoppage there. And then since then, man, he's just a different guy. I don't know if he had if he looked at himself in the mirror. I don't know if it's the timing of meeting Tatiana Suarez and them coming together. What? Jeez Louise, dude, what a freaking 1-2 punch those two are. Mix and Suarez, both could be world champions in the next 9 months when Tatiana finally gets her shot at. I mean, geez, what a power couple those two
yeah,
are.
No,
but now he's you know what I'm saying about
couple in the world.
Yeah. He's reached his potential. He's figured out dude, I got to get my shit together. I got to I have the talent, I have this and that, but now I have to make the right decisions outside of the fight game. And I think he has. I think he's taking it really seriously. And this dude is a friggin' problem now. He is an absolute wrecking ball. And him not being in the UFC would be a friggin' travesty at this point.
I guess now the question is, does the UFC want Patchy Mix? Are they gonna write the check to get Patchy Mix? Because that's my big scary issue, because I'm gonna be a bit of a cynic and say the UFC just doesn't care if they have the best bantamweights, because all they care about is, as long as we're the UFC. It goes back to the whole John Jones fighting John Jones or Francis thing, when it's like, why would we put the fight that the fans want? UFC, because UFC is, as long as we're making money, we don't care. Obviously, the fans won't Patchy Mix. I think if they knew, if not, and of course not the Francis thing, but this is the fight we want. But does the UFC care what we want?
I think with bantamweight they do. Now with Sean as the champion, it's a different story, right? Because Sean's fighting Marlon Vera. Like they haven't.
Sean's so incredibly marketable. I'll give Sean that.
Right.
There's no one
Sean's
more marketable. There's no one more marketable than Sean O'Malley. No one.
They have not had a star in this division. They've had popular guys and really good fighters, but they have never had a star.
Yeah.
Where Sean O'Malley could be. Like how many times has bantamweight's headline pay-per-views? Unless it's like something fell out and that they had no choice. Like Aljo and Cejudo, and then Aljo and Sean O'Malley. Like it's been forever before that happened. So I think that I always called the UFC bantamweight division like the intercontinental division. They would put like some sort of like heavyweight or light heavyweight title fight, and then the intercontinental title fight was always like the bantamweight title fight.
But that's gonna be the best match though.
It's the best fight. So I think with divisions like that, like especially a Marlon Vera, who will be super popular, but not a super duper star like Sean O'Malley could be. Like I think if Marlon wins the belt against Sean, then we kind of can go back to like all right, like maybe they have something with Vera. Maybe he just blows up like crazy, but I don't know if he does. I think he's just like a guy everybody likes and likes to watch fight, and he is popular, but we could get back to kind of normalcy. I think the UFC, like honestly, if last night was a tryout, Patchy's number one. Like he's probably one of the most important pieces here. Shabli's another one. Like you got to bring that dude in. Him at 155 in the UFC's lightweight division is so friggin' fun. And then like maybe McKee. I think I think they got something with him.
I still am very high on McKee. I'm still very high on McKee.
Because McKee's just not going to be a star anywhere else. Like he needs that machine behind him to push him. Otherwise, it's just he's not going to be a superstar. So those are probably the three that like the UFC's like, all right, these are the three you probably have to target. Not saying that like nobody else could get there, but I think if like if you're a UFC talent scout and you watch that event, those are probably the three you're looking at. Like, all right, let's take a shot at these three.
Why? I'm just curious. Like, neither of us have talked about one. Are one not players in this? I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering. Actually, I don't really have an answer for that. I'm just kind of.
I just don't know what one is right now.
Me neither. That makes sense. Yeah. I think we're kind of on the same page with that. Yeah.
So like because I think actually honestly, and I've been pretty tough on one, mostly because of like the just dumb things Chatri says, but I think they have had an incredible year. Like their events have been super fun to watch. I like that they're different, and I like that finally they're embracing how different they actually are. Yeah. So I don't even know if they're I can't even consider them like an MMA promotion anymore.
They're a combat sports promotion, kind of.
Yeah,
they do so much now.
Yeah, it's like, and I like it. Like them going back to like just strictly MMA, I think is a terrible business decision for them. I really like what they're doing right now, but I don't want to see anybody else do it, if that makes sense. I think they're just doing it so well that they've carved out this sort of niche, sort of like sport, like these events. They're just incredibly fun to watch. So
yeah, sometimes they're in a ring, sometimes they're in Thailand. Yeah, I was just wondering. I just wondering if you had an opinion. I don't really have any opinion on it. Yeah.
I don't know. But guys like Jason Jackson, where do they end up? Like Jason's a really good fighter. I just don't know what I don't know. Look, there's a lot of Kill Cliff fighters in that welterweight division that are going to put in a damn good word for Jason Jackson.
Even Almasov. Almasov's one loss. I mean, he's now 27-1. Jeez. I mean, Almasov's still really a player. Good. I mean, he finally had that off night. He finally, but I don't know. Where's Sergio go?
Yeah, he's maybe he goes to Ryzen. That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Sergio, yeah, that'd be actually really cool.
Yeah, I wonder how much money Anthony Pettis lost last night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No one ever brags about their losing tickets.
Where's the losing ticket? Let's see that screenshot. How much did you bet?
Yeah, no one ever shows that screenshot. But,
what if he actually bet? What if he actually bet on Patchy Mix and didn't want to show it?
Oh boy.
I don't know. But great
All
night
right.
for Patrick Nix. Great card overall, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And we didn't even talk about Stotts Sabatello. What the heck?
very fun. Very fun fight.
That was the fight that we thought we were going to see in the first fight. Just awesome scrambles, good, just high level grappling, and a close competitive fight. This was the fight we thought we were going to see the first time, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Very fun.
And it was a great fight, and yeah.
And Stotts won. Stotts won.
Stotts won competitive, but he won the fight. Yeah, it was a competitive fight, but he won.
I just I mentioned this in Slack last night, and I took a little bit of a pounding. But honestly, I kind of just want to see them fight each other again. I don't know why. I kind of just want to see these dudes just fight each other all the time.
I wouldn't mind, but
I want to see if Sabatello could actually beat him, and then how Stotts would come back if he actually lost to Sabatello, and what his life would feel like if he lost to Danny Sabatello. He even said if you want to pay me money to punch Danny Sabatello, 10 out of 10 times I'm gonna do it. It was a great promo. I think these two are so tied to each other. It's almost I don't think there's another interesting fight for either guy right now. You know what I mean?
Well, as far as rivalry, but I think they're both just. I think Sabatello is. I don't think he's top 15, obviously, but I do think he's a top 25, top 30 guy. I think Stotts is top 15, on a good day, top 10. Who knows? But I think they're both good enough. You can just. I think their paths will line up again at some point, but yeah. I don't think they need to run it back right now. But I don't. But I love that fight. It was a fun fight, and I like that Rufian Stotts kind of brought out that dog in Sabatello, throwing head kicks all the time. I was like, oh, there we go. So it was a good fight.
It was a good fight. I liked it.
Fight. All right.
We could talk about it all here.
Yeah, here we go. Let's talk about these fights.
What would be a crazier result? Allen by submission or Craig by KO TKO?
Oh, Craig by KO
for sure.
Especially if it's on the feet. Yeah, unless it's ground and pound. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Paul Craig just came out and flying kneed Brendan Allen, knocked him out like Danny Sabatello tried to do it to Rafael last night? I'd be like, whoa, dude. Allen submitting Paul Craig would not surprise me. If Allen drops him with a big shot early, which could happen, and then just finds his way into a submission, I could see that happening. Craig's very good on the ground, but Allen hits really hard, even though he's not known for his striking prolifically. So, yeah, I'd say it's Craig KO TKO easy.
Yeah, the Allen by submission would be incredibly surprising to say if it's really without any serious strikes or ground and pound, and if it's within the first 3 minutes or something like that. But definitely, definitely Craig. But if Craig can get some kind of standing KO, that'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Man, dude, we've already gone to 11 o'clock. We flew through this.
Dude, the broadcast hasn't even started yet. We'll keep going.
Sorry. Okay, all right, good. All right,
dude, we're fine.
Okay. All right.
I have a feeling we got 15 more minutes probably.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me bring some questions up. All right.
Once the first fight starts, we'll wrap. Is Hooper versus Levitt ending inside the distance?
Can I just say this is the fight I'm looking forward to the most?
Why? I'm curious. I'm not saying it's a bad fight. I'm curious why this is the fight you're looking forward to the most.
Well, first of all, I kind of hate this fight only because these are nice guys. I don't like when nice guys fight each other. I want nice guy versus jerk. I'm gonna beat you up. Both these guys are good dudes, but unfortunately one has to lose. And I'm kind of interested in seeing the improvements of Chase Hooper. I'm a Chase Hooper fan. I like him. I kind of like his personality. I like how he talks back to the fans a lot on social media when they kind of trash him. He's like, I'm a grown man. You don't know what I've gone through. I may look like this. I look like this kid, but I'm a grown man. But and Levitt just Levitt does his thing, doesn't care what other people say. And I just like this fight. I don't know where. I hope it's a fun, crazy grapple fest. That's what I'm hoping for.
And
of course,
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
I think we're going to the cards here. I have Chase Hooper by decision. We'll get to our picks in a matter of moments because it looks like the UFC is going to get right into this thing.
Oh, okay.
I just think Chase is a little bit bigger. I think that length's going to play a big factor. I think the ground stuff's going to kind of cancel each other out in a lot of respects. And I do think Chase, while he's not a great striker, I think he's a better striker than Jordan is. So I could see him. I don't know. This could just turn into a fun kickboxing brawl, which I'm kind of hoping for here. Which is kind of what I think is going to happen here.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
Yeah. We could take probably like one or two more, and then we'll go. What fight are you most excited about today? You said Hooper Levitt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, man, there's a couple that I really, really like. Like that, dude. The main event's gonna be real good. Jonathan Pierce, Joanderson Brito is gonna be really good. Love that fight. I gotta tell you, I think we're gonna take a one-way trip to Violence Town when Euros Medic fights Tyvek Oralbai. Jesus Christ, dude.
That was fight is like the violence fight. That's the violence fight today, though.
That is going to be a tornado of destruction, dude. If you haven't seen Oralbai fight, this guy is a friggin' crusher. He hits so hard. This fight's gonna rule. It's going to rule.
I'm not trying to make direct comparisons, but you know kind of how Shavkat, at least for us, kind of came out of nowhere. Like this guy from where's he from? Shavkat, Kazakhstan? I'm not sure. One of the stands, but where is
Kyrgyzstan for him.
Kyrgyzstan, yeah. And this gentleman is from Kyrgyzstan too. Yeah. Just there's so much talent out there, and like who knows? Like this guy could be the next just dominant champion. Like kind of Shavkat kind of came out of nowhere. I just don't know. And that's why when the UFC brings these guys over here with these, he's 11-1 record with just crazy knockouts on his resume, that's awesome. I'm just super. I don't know what to expect. I just don't know what to expect.
I'm so excited for that fight. I'm so excited for that fight. Charles Johnson walking to the octagon. I believe his opponent, Rafael Estevam, is in the octagon. So, what are we thinking for bonuses here?
Ooh, bonuses. Fight of the night, I'm going to go Medic, and I don't even know how to say the guy's name. How do you say his name? His opponent?
Oralbai, I think.
Oralbai.
Oralbai.
Okay. I'm gonna go fight of the night right there. Performance of the night, Michael Morales.
Okay.
And my other performance will go to, just because I'm a fan, Amanda Hebus. I doubt it.
Performance, Brennan Allen.
Oh, we're going with Brennan Allen. Okay.
Peyton Talbot. Even though he's a massive favorite. Dana, dude, he's a Contender Series guy.
They want to push their guys. Yeah, I get it.
Fight of the night. I'm doing it. Jordan Levitt versus Chase Hooper is going to be a fight.
You're
a bloody war between two guys that you wouldn't expect it from.
If we get like a fight of the year contender from that fight, this sport is just so beautiful sometimes.
It's the best. All right. Main card picks. Let's get into it. Are you going with Medic or Oralbai here? What a way to kick off the freaking main card.
I wind up going Medic by decision. I feel like I'm going to regret that, but I went with this, I guess, safer pick. I don't know.
Hey, that would be a historic pick right there. If Medic goes to a decision, it would be the first time in his career he's gone to a decision. Yeah. I'm going Oralbai second round KO. He's going to come back. Medic's going to have a good first round. He's just going to land something big. Death Tax is Amanda Hebus by decision. That's what I'm going with here.
Amanda Hebus, second round KO.
Ooh, all right. Peyton Talbot, first round knockout.
I'm going Talbot decision. Dominant.
I have Chase Hooper decision over Jordan Levitt.
And a fight of the year contender.
Let's go.
Chase Hooper, 29-28 decision.
We're both picking Michael Morales, I assume. How does this end? Does he get a finish here?
Yes, he will get a knockout, but in round 3.
I got Morales decision. I think Jake's going to have moments in this fight, but I think I think that talent's going to shine. And then we got Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig. What's the main event pick officially here?
Brendan Allen, knockout, round 2.
Peace. Samesies. Hit the music. Exactly what I got. All right, flyweights kicking things off. Well, I mean, for Estevam, 128 pounders. If we're going to be more specific here. Close enough. But, dude, Charles Johnson's hair is incredible. It's unbelievable. So we'll be back after the show, everybody. We'll react to all of the festivities, and the sun may be out where you're at when we actually do that, which is very, very exciting. So thank you all for joining us. For Casey, I am Mike Keck. Enjoyed the early day MMA. We'll see you later on.
Bye.